This has Warriors fans hyped up, as it feels like the beginning of the 2025 NBA season was just an eternity away, and now all of a sudden we are just one night away from the beginning of the NBA season. What's going on, everybody? I'm Houston Bo. You're watching Warriors Digest, and before we get into a bunch of stuff today, I want to remind you guys to hit that subscribe button. As I say every time, easiest way for you guys to support us, and easiest way for you guys to also never miss out on a video. Folks, it feels like I just hopped on this channel about 2.5 months ago, getting ready to prep for the beginning of the 2025-2026 NBA season. Lots of stuff with Johnathan Kuminga going down, expecting signings. All of that stuff has happened, and now we are just about 36 hours away from the beginning of the Warriors season. I know myself and the rest of Dub Nation is incredibly hyped. So today I want to talk about three major X factors for the upcoming season. The biggest things that if those things can go right, then we will be in a very good position to win another title this season, and as well as some other things that I'm very excited about and looking forward to seeing this season that we haven't seen for the Warriors organization in a very long time or ever. And finally, to close out the video, I'm going to give you my 2025 game changer, my player on this Warriors roster who I think is going to come in and shock a lot of people and be a legitimate contributor to this team. So, first things first. Let's talk about the Golden State 2025-2026 X Factors. Now, obviously, there are tons of things that are going to dictate whether or not this team ends up winning a championship. The 5th title for Steph and Dre, the 1st for Jimmy, 2nd for Johnathan Kuminga, Moses Moody, Gary Payton, all those younger guys who have been steady contributors over the last couple of seasons. And the first thing, truly probably the biggest thing for this upcoming season, is that first mark, that JK decision-making and rebounding. Johnathan Kuminga, we signed you. We got you your money. We got you in the position that you wanted to be. Now you're in a position to thrive either as a starter with the injury to Moses Moody or as a 6th man off the bench, potential to win 6th man of the year if the productivity and efficiency is there. Johnathan Kuminga, guess what? This is your season. As much as this is a big season for the franchise as a whole, this is the biggest season of Johnathan Kuminga's career. He's had some early success. He's shown flashes of being a top 15 player in this league at points. And now we have the understanding that, hey, you need to make a leap this year. This is the opportunity. We put guys around you to space the floor, to allow you to be a shot creator, an attacker. But more than that, work on your decision-making and your rebounding. We know that Johnathan Kuminga can score the basketball. We've seen it in off-season workouts. We've seen it in major games throughout the last couple of years. Johnathan Kuminga, early game against the Rockets last season in December, found a way to put together a 30-piece, his highest career scoring game, won us the game, put the team on his back against the Timberwolves in the series last year. Even though things didn't turn out the way we wanted to, we saw flashes of the understanding that, hey, Johnathan Kuminga, you can be the leading scorer on this team. But in order for that to happen, you have to allow the defense and make the defense value and honor the other parts of your game. Because right now it is incredibly easy to guard Johnathan Kuminga. You know he wants to get to that midi. You know he wants to take you to the hole. You know he wants to be a slasher. But Johnathan Kuminga has to find a way to allow or get other teams to honor his three-point shooting ability. Johnathan, guess what? If you find a way to get your three-point shooting to an area where they have to close out, that makes your attacking, that makes your drives that much more dangerous. And when you do get into those positions and the help defense kick it out, find ways to get your other teammates involved. We saw it in the preseason. Johnathan Kuminga's decision-making looked excellent. His rebounding looked much better. His rebounding looked way better. If he can commit to all levels of the sport, I expect Johnathan Kuminga to be a major X factor, the biggest X factor for the upcoming season. And the only reason I have that at number 1 ahead of health and injuries is because that is something that we can control. That is something that Johnathan Kuminga can legitimately commit to doing every single night. Health and injuries, as much as it is an X factor similarly to that is something that is basically out of our control. Yes, load management, resting guys when we have a little bit of an injury scare, things like that. We can do everything we can, control the controllables in that area, train in the right way, ensure that the guys are ready to go every single night. But ultimately, if a guy gets hurt, it's pretty much out of your control on any given night. Moses Moody, out for the home opener tomorrow night. Johnathan Kuminga, Jimmy Butler, both have sort of lingering ankle injuries. Steph Curry, we know that over the last couple of years he's been semi-healthy, but in order for him to be a potential MVP candidate this year and produce at the level that he wants to, he's got to stay healthy. Al Horford, Buddy Hield, Draymond Green, these other older guys on the team, we have to find a way to prioritize their health while also prioritize winning throughout the season. And in order for those things to happen, number 3 has to remain true. The young guys need to contribute, because on nights where JK's not playing his best, on nights where the health and the injuries are a major point of emphasis that is hurting us on a given night, the younger guys, Gary Payton, not necessarily a younger guy, but still a guy that we, as a role player, has to come in and be an X factor for us. Brandin Podziemski, a major X factor. He has to find a way to be a steady contributor for us this year. He's been up and down over the last couple of seasons of his early career. Really solid scoring nights and then really ugly, uncomfortable nights on the floor for Brandin Podziemski. He's got to find a way to be consistent. Moses Moody when he's healthy. Buddy Hield to an extent. We need those guys to be efficient shooters and find ways to impact the game on the defensive side of things. This team has to be a scrappy, solid defensive team if we're going to want to complete and meet the goals that we want to this season. So those are my major X factors for the upcoming season. Obviously, there are other things that are going to impact winning and losing on any given night, but those are the 3 major things that I expect to be huge for this upcoming season. Moving forward, I want to take a look at the most exciting things for the upcoming season. These are things that either we have or we haven't seen before that are proven to be absolutely electric on and off the basketball floor. And the number one thing is Steph Curry and Seth Curry playing on an NBA court together. I envision back-to-back threes, one from Steph, one from Seth. I imagine a steal from Steph on one end, a fast break kick out to the corner to Seth for a 3. I mean, when those things happen and the Twitter notification pops up, the Curry Bros playing together on an NBA floor, like that is going to be so entertaining. Even on the nights where we're not playing our best, those types of things get you through a season. Those little moments of something spectacular that keep you entertained throughout the course of an 82 into a 90, 100-plus game season, including the playoffs. Very excited to see how that turns out. Obviously, Seth Curry waived from the team in order to allow that cap space to be our friend for the beginning of the season. Seth Curry kicked out of the organization for just a little bit, but then early to mid-November, the expectation is that Seth Curry will rejoin the team. And obviously, it's a frustration point right now because Moses Moody injured, Brandin Podziemski a little banged up. You would love to have Seth Curry early in the season, but you got to find a way to just tread water, play well to start the year, win those first 4 games against the Lakers and the Blazers and the Nuggets and the Grizzlies, and then add Seth Curry back to the team. He'll contribute as well. Number 2, Buddy and Jimmy, Batman and Robin. I know we say Steph's pretty much Batman, so then Jimmy and Buddy, however you want to pair them, Robin, Alfred, whatever you want to say. Those guys are so entertaining. We saw it all throughout last season. We saw it in the preseason. Jimmy Butler kicks a 3 to Buddy Hield. Buddy Hield misses it, and Jimmy Butler waves him off. You'd think that these guys hate each other, but then you also think they're brothers. I think it really is a brother, even though not by blood, dynamic. These guys get on each other's nerves like crazy, but they also do it sort of for the cameras because they know it's entertaining, and they know how much they enjoy being around each other. But don't forget, chemistry is massively important to an NBA team, and finding ways to have camaraderie throughout a season. You're seeing it if you're watching the Starting 5 documentary right now. Kevin Durant talks a lot about, hey, one of the most important things that an NBA team can have is camaraderie. So for Buddy and Jimmy to find a way to continually be that light and that joy on the basketball floor, that allows the other guys on the team to see that, see how much joy they're playing with, and ultimately, if you're a happy team, you are a solid team. We saw it when the Warriors were happy, when they were enjoying playing basketball. That was when they were at their best last year. When the Johnathan Kuminga drama and the Steph Curry injuries and all those things start to pile up, that's when you get a little bit low, a little bit depressed, and then you don't enjoy playing basketball as much, which means you're not going to win as many games. Buddy and Jimmy, as much as it seems like, yeah, it's just a fun little trope, that can be a major X factor for this upcoming season as well. And then obviously for the play of both of them too, Buddy, Jimmy, got to play well this season. Buddy, you got to be a 38, 39% three-point shooter this year. We'd love to see in the 40s. Jimmy, be yourself. Don't be afraid to go out and put on a show some nights, even though, yes, I know you want to be more of a passer, a contributor to other guys. Find a way to have that alpha mentality throughout the upcoming season. And then thirdly, D'Anthony Melton, Al Horford, those signings, very good signings from Mike Dunleavy Jr. Again, the expectation once D'Anthony Melton got hurt and was traded out for Dennis Schroeder about midway through the season, a little earlier than that, I would say. That was sort of the understanding of Mike Dunleavy and D'Anthony Melton saying, hey, when this comes back to a point where we can make this happen again, we will bring you back. And ultimately that did happen. D'Anthony Melton returns to the team, not going to be ready for the beginning of the season, unfortunately, due to his injury, but the rehab sounds like it's going well. Sounds like he should be back here within the next couple of weeks. And then Al Horford as well, shot it okay in the preseason, but looked like his normal self defensively. Al Horford is going to be a player that we have never seen on this Warriors team for the last decade and a half. He just provides a defensive presence and a mentality from the help perspective when Draymond Green gets beat, which can be a rarity. But usually when that happens, the team has so much trust in Draymond that there's no help defense. Well, now Al Horford has the IQ to understand, hey, I can stick with my guy, but also support Draymond in a way that allows us to play cohesively defensively. Those are major signings, and I'm very excited to see how those guys play throughout the course of the regular season and then hopefully into the playoffs. Al Horford is a guy that understands the game of basketball at a level that not many veterans in this league do, and I'm excited to see how himself and D'Anthony Melton, another 28, 29-year-old guy who's sort of feels like a veteran in this league. D'Anthony Melton's been around the block for a little while. When he is healthy and at his best, he is an athletic force, and he's also a fantastic three-point shooter. Defensively, him and Steph have a chance to be the best backcourt in the NBA. Last thing, who do I think has the chance to be a game-changing player for the upcoming season? A guy that maybe people coming into the year didn't even expect him to get real minutes, only expect him to play in Santa Cruz. Well, that guy is, of course, Will Richard. I don't want to jump the gun on this too much because I understand it's the preseason. I understand maybe he's not playing against the best competition, but this guy was a proven winner through the high school level, on to college, winning a national championship, putting up 18 points in the national championship game. He's an excellent shooter. You saw it in the preseason, even at the end of games. He loves the moment. He attacks the big moments. He wants to be the guy with the ball in his hands in those moments. I expect him to have legitimate minutes throughout the season, especially because I do think some injuries will linger and allow space for Will Richard to come in and play. Even at the beginning of the year, I thought to myself, shoot, is there any chance Will Richard starts tonight for that unfilled shooting guard position with the Moses Moody injury? Now, I do expect it to be Brandin Podziemski, but I would expect that there could be a chance that if Will Richard continues to play at the level that he was playing at through the preseason and understanding how NBA differs from other levels of basketball, I think Will Richard can be a legitimate contributor this year. And, man, I hope he proves me right because he's a fun basketball player to watch as well. He plays the game the right way, as does a lot of the guys on this Warriors roster. If we can find a way to put all those things together, if the X factors can cross those boxes, we can say on every single night, maybe not every single night because, of course, you're going to have lackadaisical nights in the NBA because of the travel and all that type of stuff. It's tough to be consistent on every single night. You're going to have losses that you look back and say, hey, that was a hustle thing, right? Try to control the controllables. If all those X factors that we can control can be marked off and we can say, hey, we are doing what we can to produce at a high level. If those things can happen, if the exciting things can allow us to enjoy basketball at a high level this year, and then if Will Richard can come in and be a game changer, it is going to be a heck of a year, and I think we're going to have a lot of success as an organization. Thanks so much for tuning in, guys. I've been Houston, but you've been the fans. Catch you guys in the next one. As always, go Dubs. Peace.